This man is not a sinner. This man is going to reveal the work of God. And as you continue through the rest of chapter 9, that's exactly what he does. He has given his sight back. He's the only one. It's kind of an ironic story. He's the only one who actually sees it. He's the only one who looks to Jesus and recognizes Jesus for who he is in the whole chapter. And he's the man who was blind at the beginning. All the people who could see at the beginning just keep going, oh, well, you must be a sinner. Oh, no, but you are a sinner because you couldn't see. And then they look at Jesus and they're like, well, you healed him on the Sabbath. You're a sinner. And they keep pointing and saying, this person's a sinner. But this man starts walking around proclaiming who Jesus is. The works of God were revealed through a man born blind. Not the people who had it all together, but through this man's greatest inadequacy becomes the way that God uses him. But maybe you're sitting there thinking, well, I don't really know of any inadequacy that I was born with, but some things have come up in my life that now seem to be a problem. I'm going to read 2 Corinthians. I think it'll be up on the screen. 2 Corinthians 12, 7 through 12. 7 through 10. It says, I'm going to skip the end of the sentence and just start. Therefore, to keep me from being too elated. Now this is Paul, right? Paul wrote 13 books of the New Bible, of the New Testament. Dude is pretty big deal, right? So of course it'd be easy to become elated when you are the person taking the gospel to the entire Gentile church. Therefore, to keep me from being too elated, a thorn was given to me in the flesh, a messenger of Satan to torment me, to keep me from being too elated. 3 times I appealed to the Lord about this, that it would leave me. But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for power is made perfect in weakness. So I will boast all the more gladly of my weaknesses, so that the power of Christ may dwell in me. Therefore I am content with weaknesses, insults, hardships, persecutions, and calamities for the sake of Christ. For whenever I am weak, then I am strong. This thorn is given to Paul, and you can speculate all you want, but nobody really knows what this thorn was. We just know he had a thorn, and that he pleaded with God 3 times for it to be removed. 3 times he came before the Lord saying, please remove this thorn from me. But when God didn't, he then turned and said, all right, well, this thorn keeps me from being too elated. And God says to him, my power is made perfect in your weakness. When you are weak, then you are strong. Not the other way, Paul. Not when you are doing really good, you are strong. But when you let me dwell in you, when Christ dwells in you, then you are strong. Not when you work on your own strength, but when you're using the strength of God. And sometimes we're like, oh, cool, strength of God. Cool, dwell in Christ. Neal, you said a lot of church things, and if you were to walk down right now, I have no clue how to make that a reality. I have no clue what that looks like. What power of Christ do we speak of? And so, because I think this is so much better at putting it into words than I am, I'm going to read you a hymn. I'm going to read it to you, because sometimes we sing them and we don't actually think about what it says. In Christ alone my hope is found. He is my light, my strength, my song. This cornerstone, this solid ground, firm through the fiercest drought and storm. What heights of love, what depths of peace, when fears are stilled and striving cease. What comfort